One man's influencer is another person's outright government
paid propaganda.
Viva Frei, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler, and my wife asked me to go get some bagels, and I'm like, yeah, sure, honey, I'll go get some bagels, and
Sneak in a car vlog while I'm doing it.
you might hear some noise for some reason. Ow, jeez Louise. These, what do they call it? A murder of crows has decided to install themselves in the tree above me. All right, an amazing story coming out of Canada. I don't think enough people are going to pay attention to it. It's behind a paywall, so that's sort of a deterrent. But the story itself is amazing. It's coming from an agency called Vlawg's Reporting.
That's good.
Not to be confused with BlackRock, the entity of the devil.
That's bad.
Vlawg reporters do amazing work coming out of Canada. This story is mind-blowing because it highlights the distinction between what some people would consider to be an influencer, a paid influencer, acting at the behest of and being paid by the government, versus outright government-fabricated propaganda.
But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Vlawg's reporter on Twitter, I think their handle is @MindingOttawa. They put out an article, I think it was on Friday, if not Thursday, whatever. The article reads as follows. Vlawg's reporter, minding Ottawa's business. I love that. Feds paid Twitter stars $682,000. I think they might be using the term Twitter stars a little loosely there, but the Department of Health has paid Twitter, quote, influencers, end quote, more than $680,000 since 2021, records show. Tweeters collected talent fees to express support for federal programs without disclosing they were paid for posts. Quote, they are not required to reveal they are government-paid influencers because that, of course, would be very embarrassing, end quote. And the amazing thing is that they posted a link of all of the accounts that the government had allegedly paid a certain amount to, and the aggregate knowledge of the interwebs being what it is, I'm sure Vlawg knew that everyone on the internet would go scour the internet for the social media profiles of those purported influencers, as they did. What's shocking about it is that a number of them have basically dead Twitter accounts. Others, I'm not saying this out of any arrogance, pomposity, hierarchy, whatever. I just refuse to accept the notion that someone with 7 single-digit, even double-digit followers on any social media platform can, in any realm of the credible universe, be referred to as an influencer. And so I, like the rest of the internet, went through some of these social media accounts. A number of them are dead on Twitter. Some of them have some following on TikTok. Others have, at best, a couple thousand followers. And these are the influencers that the government was allegedly paying to promote COVID policy, COVID tweets. Shelazon LaRue has got 7,800 followers on Twitter, and this is one of the biggest accounts. Canada's Drag Race Season 3 Indigenous and Thriving. Bookings Media, and then we've got an email address there. And in response to the scandal, Shelazon LaRue writes as follows. Long story short, I was paid by Health Canada to talk about my COVID experience and why I chose to take the vaccine, not to force anyone else. This is no different than people getting paid to promote any other government program, education, healthcare, economics, and you'd do it for a bag. I don't know what that means. And another one of the accounts, I am Sukhman Gill. He's an actor, model, speaker, and has 1.8 thousand followers on Twitter. His pinned post reads as follows. Stay at home, protect healthcare workers, and stay safe. Hashtag stay home, hashtag coronavirus, hashtag South Asian, hashtag artists, hashtag COVID-19. Stay at home, protect healthcare workers, and save lives. Government propaganda. An account called It's Chris Robbins, who has 5 followers on Twitter. Another account called Jaja Banks with 3 followers, and apparently their last tweet was in 2011. Another account called Mom Ready to Go with 578 followers, and apparently hasn't tweeted since 2019. An account named Joseline with 260 followers, and the account is now protected. An account from Karen, writer, actor, Twitch streamer with 374 followers. That account also is now protected. And the article, the reporting really gets me thinking as to what exactly is a paid influencer. What's the difference between a paid influencer and government propaganda? To me, it looks like the government might have found some accounts or created some accounts so as to promote COVID policy tweets, put out tweets like one of the guys puts out tweets, stay at home, hashtag stay at home. The government creates or acquires active or inactive social media handles, creates social media handles, then transfers money from the government to pay these influencers to push government propaganda. It's actually even a little more insidious than government paid propaganda. This actually could just be a great deal of money laundering. Create these bogus accounts, pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars in total to push government propaganda. I mean, this is Soviet level propaganda. This is Nazi Goebbels level propaganda that the government creates, absorbs, or otherwise acquires these social media accounts to push government propaganda, pays them however many thousands of dollars. It's outrageous. And when you understand that there was already leaked stories that I've covered multiple times about how the government, how the military saw the COVID pandemic as a good opportunity to test propaganda on Canadian citizens, all of this makes sense. Canadian military leaders saw the pandemic as a unique opportunity to test out propaganda techniques on an unsuspecting public, a newly released Canadian Forces report concludes. Everyone really and truly has to appreciate how insidious this is. You have the military saying, oh, the COVID pandemic is a great opportunity to test propaganda on Canadian citizens. The government itself was harvesting cell data. Speaking of which, who is that? Was harvesting cellular data, tracking 38 million devices in Canada, for safety, for COVID, to see where people were traveling. Canada secretly tracked 33 million phones during COVID-19 lockdown. Reports. Canada's federal government admitted to secretly surveilling its population movements during the COVID-19 lockdown by tracking 33 million phones. The Public Health Agency of Canada, PHAC, clandestinely tracked the devices to assess, quote, the public's responsiveness during lockdown measures, end quote, the agency acknowledged last week, according to Vlawg's reporter, which first reported the disclosure. The government is surveilling you, testing propaganda on you, and now funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars to manufacture a social media narrative, to manufacture consent.
It's a psyop, people.
At the very beginning, I said people who said it's a psyop were crazy, they're conspiracy theorists. What else can you describe this as? The government funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars into influencer social media accounts, some of which have actually no influence. It is straight up government sanctioned money laundering and propaganda at best, and I don't know how much worse it can actually get than that. I've reached out to Vlawg and I hope to get the author of that article, or at least a journalist from Vlawg, to come on and talk about it more. It's mind-blowing. Everything the government has done over the last 3 years is criminal. In my humble opinion, hashtag no defamation. It's nuts. I really should go get those bagels right now and see if any of these crows have pooped on the car. I kept the top up just as a poop shield, but I'm gonna go get some bagels or my wife will kill me. If you like what I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment in the comment section below. On Rumble, Viva Frei. On Twitter, the Viva Frei, and fair warning, I'm a little saucy on Twitter. And if you want to join our wonderful community at
vivabarneslaw.locals.com,
do so. You can be a member, which is not paying support, or you can choose to be a paying supporter. $7 a month, $70 a year. It's going up as of the new year. I think I just heard poop land on the top of the car. vivabarneslaw.locals.com, but most importantly, get out there, say hi to a neighbor, a friend, sunlight, exercise, and good health. And now you know you've vlogged. Peace out. Booyah. Government, even in its best state, is but a necessary evil. In its worst state, an intolerable one. Thomas Paine. A bird pooped on the car. One of those, I'm sitting here editing the video, the vlog, and a bird pooped on the car. Oh God. Damn you birds. This is actually God punishing me. I should have been in there getting the bagels already, but instead I'm making the video and a bird just came and pooped on me to let me know, Viva, go get the damn bagels. Or some people think that pooping on you is good luck, but that's just the tendency of making bad things good luck. Whatever, I'll go get the bagels now after I finish editing.